Live? Yes. Cool. All right, we are here and we are on day 3 technically of our recipe development for Tea Curious Water. Happy Saturday. Nice to see you guys. Welcome to today's live stream. This is a continuation, but don't worry if you weren't here yesterday, but it is a continuation of our process of developing the new Tea Curious Water recipe. And we're going to drink some shincha today. Yay! So first, shincha that we are tasting this year, we will drink together. If you have any tea that you'd like to kind of like drink with us, feel free to bring it. I think it's a good day for it. So get yourselves, cozy, and Steven's cozy. You cozy, Steven? No, Steven's running around, like, doing things I want him to do. Like, no, get that picture in this picture. So yeah, how are you guys doing? Monomoko, nice to see you. RTT, Marzi, nice to see you. Nina, the tea potato. Chris, nice to see you guys. Old friends, new friends. Lovely to see you. Nick, how's it going? Welcome. So this is shincha that we're gonna brew with first Tea Curious Water Original. We're gonna get to know this shincha first. And then we will go on to drinking it with the Japanese water that... Which one are we going to do? I think it's this one. Yeah, this one. Oh no, this is the Kirishima water. But we will use a Japanese water. The other one's on the desk over there. And I won't stand up because, again, I only have a half body. It's an inside joke from yesterday. But let me know how you guys are doing. Have you had tea today so far? We've had some anji baicha. That's pretty much it for today. So we kind of kept it, really, really simple to prep us for tasting this shincha. So the shincha I'll be drinking today is this Hashiri shincha from Dense Tea. Dense Tea, people don't really talk about them very much, but in the 2010s, they had this amazing kind of like intro to Japanese tea sampler, and I picked it up back then. I think I was still in college when I met this company, and yeah, I just fell in love with Japanese green tea because of them, and they're based in the States. So, kind of nice throwback to kind of go back to an old favorite Japanese tea vendor. We still really like the organic hojicha, amazing stuff. Anything like genmaicha, blended stuff from them is amazing too. So this is a Shizuoka shincha and a Yabukita one. So I want to pick a very kind of straightforward, almost like representative shincha for us to start with this process. I am happy to have a shincha, but I also on purpose am picking one that is kind of straightforward so we can get to know this tea as we test it over the next week when we are working on a recipe. Sounds good? Cool. Seasonal mitigation, welcome from the UK. Drinking aged Yin right now. Yeah, tea potato, agree. Dense Tea is where I got all my first Japanese specialty tea from. Yeah, agreed. Steven, you good?
All good.
Cool. Steven's
Need
armed with
anything
some spam musubi on the side. I'm not having any yet. So let's brew this. So agenda today is to get to know this shincha. And before we subject it to the Tea Curious gamut of bowl brewing and water and all that fancy stuff, let's get to just drink it. Let's just brew it. I was telling Steven, like, this tea's gonna arrive and be like, what is my purpose? It's like water experiments. To be like, oh my god. So let's actually enjoy this shincha first. It's important to us that even if we do all these like kind of crazy experiments, kind of left brain stuff, we don't forget the point of it, which is you gotta enjoy this tea. This is a shincha we're having. It's pretty special. I know some of you have started drinking your shincha also. So yeah, you have the snow water, Steven, too, for later.
I'll get it when we need it.
Okay, and then the actual Minami
Yeah,
Alps
over here.
water. Yeah. So shincha first thing, with Tea Curious water, just to get to know it. And then second round, we're going to brew using what we found to be the best water yesterday, which is that Minami Alps water. Around 58 TDS. Really, really fantastic, kind of mellow and smooth and kind of just very, very nuanced and mild water, which I think is a good idea for Japanese green tea. So let's get started. Let's drink this. Can I get a snippy, Steven?
Should be over there.
Snippy. There we go. Thank you. I promise I don't ask everything from Steven when like cameras are rolling. It's only here. Right? I think so. I mean, I cook, you usually do dishes.
I don't think it actually.
So the answer is yes.
So like
Yeah,
you're backpedaling from a thing that doesn't matter.
I guess. I guess. How are you guys doing? I hope you're doing okay.
You want to preheat?
Yes, we will preheat always. I don't know why I sniffed the silica packet. Just to, oh my gosh! This tea is like, stop talking, Ree. It's a love letter from Japan, as always for Shinsha.
Wow.
So Shinsha, for those of you who are not in the know, which is fine, you're welcome here. We have people of different experience levels here, so we try to make sure that everyone is kind of like, we're cool. So Shinsha, I wish I could have just one of you explain, because I know some of you are just Shinsha fanatics. But drawing from your energy, Shinsha is literally means new tea, Shin, cha, and it's, if you hear the word Shinsha, it should be formally, if you're being very specific and correct, referring to the first harvest of green tea from Japan in the early spring. And not only, other areas have this idea of spring green tea also. It's an exciting moment for the farmers who are, working again on the fields. And I mean, they've been working all winter, but finally they have something to harvest again. And everyone's excited about spring green tea harvest. But I think in Japan, there's a special kind of like relationship with first harvest things there. So for example, you can get shinmai, which is new rice, first harvest rice. I'm sure there's a lot of other like first harvest thingies out there because Japan has that kind of like culture of seasonality and appreciating what's new and what's there for at that moment before it goes away, and appreciating freshness and being right on time for the season. So spring tea is part of that. Yeah. So I'm just preheating. I'm going to be using a just tokoname clay, just red clay kyusu, and then just some porcelain teacups to brew. Yeah.
Which water are we using?
We're using Takira's water, original, for this, just to see what the tea is like. Anything else to add about Shinsha? Let me know. And if anyone's been drinking any Shinsha lately, how is the season? I've heard that it's quite good. I keep hearing that like it's a good season so far. It's a little early, so Japan is quite long. So I think the harvest goes from like early April, sometimes even like early March. I think March, like the lowest latitudes, southerly latitudes of Japan, will have like a late March harvest. We're talking like those islands south of what we usually think of Japan, like the really, really south, like Yakushima Island, will start harvesting in like March, I think, if not April. And then the harvest can go all the way to like June, July. I think July is pretty late, but because it's so long, right? So Shinsha will be kind of rolling in steadily over time. First from the kind of lowland areas or more south, kind of warmer areas, and then a little bit later from the high elevation, kind of high mountain areas, because it's colder, so the tea leaves don't kind of come out to party yet until they're ready. Is that pretty much it for Shinsha? Yeah. I don't do the Shinsha thing every single year. Mostly, I love it, but mostly because I'm usually not responsible enough to drink green tea every year. It's more like a once every 2 years thing. So this year we skipped the Korean green tea and Chinese green tea for the most part, and we're doing Japan. And probably next year, no, I think I'm getting better. Maybe next year we'll finish all our green tea on time, and we'll do Shinsha again next year. So yeah, okay. Smells amazing. Did you already smell this?
I did.
Smells like Shinsha. Yeah, it smells like Shinsha. And let's do, my favorite part is this kind of like priming. I think that I call like the most underrated part of the tea process, tea brewing process, is when you have the dry leaves in the preheated vessel. You just kind of shake them. And then you smell that bad boy. It's my favorite. Ooh! It's so good! Oh, it smells like someone's baking in there. Like someone's baking like butter croissants in there. Yo! Oh my gosh, beautiful leaves. Gorgeous, so long and like shiny and really well shaped. It's gorgeous. Can we get the shot of that, Steven? Just to share with our friends who might be hanging out with us. And can you get your
You need the like,
little flashlight? Yeah. They're just so gorgeous, just beautiful, beautiful. And this is specifically from Tawarazara.
Okay.
I've been practicing more Tagalog than Japanese lately, so my vowels are all messed up. Tawarazawa, in Japan, in Shizuoka. So specific area, Yabukita cultivar. Ready, Stephen?
Sure.
I will use what Dens recommends for the brewing, which I was very happy to see that Dens, the company, they write their notes about this shincha. They will test their tea using boiling water to start, and then they'll drop it, which, we do too. But we will, instead of using boiling water today, we'll use the preferred brewing, which is 160 degrees Fahrenheit. Steven's gonna kill me for using Fahrenheit. That's, I think, what's 160 degrees Fahrenheit in
I'll
Celsius?
just convert the kettle.
Okay, got it. 90 seconds deep. Yeah. Okay, so Nick says that, are you referring to the Minami Alps water, Nick? Lovely water, very popular in Japan, never use it for tea.
Would you say
Yeah, I've
160?
heard that. Yeah, yeah. So we were so excited to see it in the store at Uwajimaya. I'm like, oh, I've heard so much about Minami Alps water. It's even in our water calculator. Like, we kind of went in and like found some really famous brewing waters for Japan. And Minami Alps is there. So when we saw it, we're like, oh, we're so excited. Tea potato, I was so close to getting some of Den's Hashiri Shinsha to tide me over until my order arrives, but it passed. Yeah. Tiva's tea, welcome, welcome. Nick, some reports for the Shinsha season. Good harvest in Uji, especially compared to last year, which had lots of frost damage. Heard a few Shizuoka farmers say it was a bit challenging, but I'm not sure why. Maybe just very localized. Interesting stuff. Okay. It's like good info for us to have, and then once you actually taste something from Uji or Shizuoka, you can kind of connect the dots. So, really interesting information. Tea potato, I'm hearing the season was supposed to be great too, but the week or so before the harvest, they had a ton of rain, which accelerated the different cultivars to need to be harvested at the same time. Got it. Yeah, that's very challenging.
160.
So this, the last couple of weeks before harvest is so critical. Like, it could just make or break. Not to be doomerist, it can influence the season a lot.
And you want like a timer or something?
Yeah, so this is 160. 90 degree water, okay. So I usually don't brew like this, but I'm just going to respect what
How much
the
time?
label says. It's 90 seconds. Okay, ready? So gentle pour. Something that I cringe whenever I look at tea Instagram is when people brew their Japanese green tea with a very, very harsh pour. You're welcome to, if you're aware of it, but you know how you're not supposed to like stir your tea bag with like a spoon because it's kind of agitating the leaves too much. Same thing with Japanese green tea. When you pour into the leaves, don't try to like stir them up too much for the weight of the water. Because that'll over extract them. It will like bring out more bitterness. Just be gentle. Unless you're aware of it, then of course do whatever you want. Cool. You guys okay? Steven, you alright? Exciting. So we'll do 2 steeps of this, and then we'll do the snow water and the Japanese water. We'll do a side-by-side with the bowls at that point.
Okay.
And then at the same time, we will brew using Tea Curious Original, just to like see. I think Tea Curious Original at half, because that's usually what we use for green tea. So to see if there's gonna be a difference. Okay. Is this you started it when I started pouring?
When you started pouring.
Okay. So I'm pouring a little earlier than the 90, just so that by the time I pour out, I have a timer up here that Steven gave me. It smells so good! I'm excited. Then what do you think, Steven? We'll do 1 sip of this, then we'll move on. We'll save the second sip for
Save it
later.
more.
Yeah. Unless you want to just brew it on the side. I just don't want to take too much time because we have only a limited amount of time for the stream today. Wow, beautiful color. Ah! I really like it when tea reminds me to just shut up for a moment. If you've met me, as we have already, I tend to like kind of be in my head. That's why I like tea so much, is that it's so tactile. It kind of reminds me to kind of like pay attention. So I'm like halfway in my kind of like jittery, like, Steven, what are we gonna do next on the stream? The tea reminds me, like, hey, look at me, I'm so beautiful. It's gorgeous colors. Smell. It smells very buttery, actually. I'm surprised by how like buttery it is. It reminds me a little bit of that. Remember that milk we had in Seattle area, Stephen? Like actual, like fresh from the cow, where it's like creamy, but you still taste the grass, which was one of the first times I've ever had like unpasteurized milk, like raw creamy milk. It's kind of what I'm getting from this. Ooh, it's saying hello. How wonderful. Oh my gosh, this tea is so good. It's very smiley, very sparkly. How to describe this? It's great. I think it's very pure tasting for how like buttery and like lush it smelled. Very clear, clean, just happy taste. Aftertaste is gorgeous. Nice. So the kind of umami too, I like this kind of umami in this tea. Sometimes you have a very brothy umami. I like the umami, it's a little sprinkled on top. It's a little bit more behind. I don't know, if you like ramen, you know, like the different kind of umami that you get from like tonkotsu ramen versus like a shoyu ramen. You know, like pure, clean, clear, like clear umami versus like basey, kind of like combined with like a creamy, buttery component, like thick, rich umami. I kind of like it when that like pure, clean, clear umami comes out. It's just I find that's very finesse in the tea. But I also like the other one because if you take me to ramen, I'm almost always gonna go like tonkotsu ramen. Not sure about you. What about you guys? Or miso ramen. Actually, miso ramen's the better example there. Miso ramen is just so like creamy and umami, like rich, thick kind of flavor. And I'm a miso ramen kind of person. Please don't judge me. East Alligator, welcome. Joe, welcome as well. Question is, where is it from? This is from Tawarazawa in Shizuoka. Yep. So kind of like in the middle of Japan, but actually one of the more like northerly areas of Japan for tea growing. Good stuff. Yeah, pretty good. You like it, Steven?
Yeah.
I'm kind of interested in how kind of like mild it is and mellow already. I wonder if it's the effect of the Kyushu, but
Could be because of how early it is.
maybe because sometimes Shinsha has like this very like extremely sparkly kind of like fresh hay, like almost like a rosy kind of like flavor, like vegetal. But this one's very kind of like rounded out, very nice. Good stuff. All right, so I'm probably gonna brew this second time, Stephen. If you could help me decant it just for us to drink, while waiting. But then we will let's go on to the snow water. So our takeaways from this part are: we know that this Shinsha, the specific Shinsha from Dens, once we start drinking it in like a side by side, it's important before you like use a tea for experimenting. I would say to always drink it like this first, so you get to know it, meet it. You know, don't go straight into the experimentation part because it's a very different approach to tea drinking, right? Get to know the tea first, and then now we can start doing more of this kind of like crazy, like let's measure things out and kind of use it to like test things. So now we will use this tea that we've met, and we're getting to know. Ah, so good. I'm getting like this melon aftertaste. Really good. We will see if then we can get to know it on a more granular level with the bowl brewing style. So bowl brewing, I almost never do for like pleasure. It's more of like a, you know, getting to know the tea in on like a on a formal level. So we will now brew using the 3 waters. We will do that Minami Alps water. We will do snow water, which we collected here in Vegas, and then we will do Tea Curious Original, which is the same water we used for this brewing, but we will actually. Did you use the original at the regular dose?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Should we do original at half dose or original at full dose?
Full.
Full dose.
for consistency.
For consistency, I agree. So we'll do original at full dose to see how it kind of measures up. So what we're doing for this, going back to the water recipe development, is this Shinsha is going to be by our side for a lot of the testing that we're doing. We do have a couple other Shinsha coming in, some like Yakushima Island stuff. I think like I'm trying to get like an Uji. I just can't decide which one. So if you have any like favorite Shinshas this season, let me know. And then a Kagoshima one, just to try to get a whole range of Shinsha so that when we're testing with this water, which I haven't, clarified that today, this water is going to be based on what we think will be good for Japanese green tea. I'm kind of like wavering. If you guys were here yesterday, we're really not sure what we're going to do with this water yet. This is really like in process. Like we're making decisions on the fly. I'm kind of on the fence of like, should it be good for like early Japanese green teas and like Chinese green teas, or should it just be for Japanese green tea? Should I also see if it's good with like Darjeeling? And what do I want from like this water kind of thing? Like, I'm not sure yet, but I think my gut is telling me it's going to become a Japanese green tea water specifically. And not just for Shinsha, but for like Sencha also. But I want it to taste especially great with really, really precious green tea, like Shinsha and like high-end Sencha. Just something that like, Japanese green tea honestly is one of those categories that really made us start working with this with water, because I think that so many people are brewing their Japanese green tea with the wrong water. I would say the wrong water, or a water that's not compatible with them and what they like. And then the green tea becomes like bitter, astringent, dry, too seaweedy, toasty, overall like too overwhelming. And those tasting notes, when I hear them, too seaweedy, too like bitter, too drying, too astringent, those are all hard water characteristics. So seaweedy doesn't usually come out, like toasted seaweed doesn't come out in Sencha when it's the water level, like water minerality is a little lower. And then remember that Japan itself is famous for having really soft water everywhere. Like it's just the kind of standard of the country. So the growers are tasting their teas when they make them with the soft water. And then at the same time, when they're trying to like, hey, let's figure out if this tea is good. What should I do next season that's different? Guess what they're using to brew that tea that they're testing? They're using soft water. So the choices that they're making during the tea making process are kind of dialed into what they're tasting using soft water. So you just kind of completely change what you're tasting once you're tasting with hard water, or just, I mean, even yesterday with a few relatively soft waters we had, there was so much variety, so much kind of difference. And just Japanese green tea is so finicky anyway to brew, you might as well not worry about the water, which is why we're so excited to do this new water. Which now it's exactly a week from now we'll have it finished. Because I signed up for this thing that I was going to do at Tea and Whisk. We're doing a workshop with spring harvest green teas next week. So, and I said I would bring the new water. So a week from now, right around this time, we're going to be at Tea and Whisk brewing using the new water. Yeah, so. All right, questions, let me know. Let's see. These alligators having Alishan from Unity. That's a good Alishan. Tea potato, no Icelandic water. Haha! I figured we didn't want to have too many bowls. So, we could. Icelandic glacial water? We want to do Voss, right? I think you're reminding me about what we wanted to test today. Voss is really good. I think Poland Spring too. Kind of wonder if we should test out those waters too. Or is it too many bowls, do you think? Thoughts? Because Poland Spring is actually one of the go-to waters here in America for Japanese green teas. Maybe we should do Poland Spring? Nah. Okay, speak now, forever hold your peace. We'll let stream decide. Should we do just the 3 waters that we're suggesting, or should we also do Poland Spring and then Voss or Icelandic water? Are the other 3 choices. We have so many other waters, but I want to do a light water today, for sure. Okay. So, We're gonna brew using 2.5 grams.
How much tea do we have?
We have 50 grams.
Okay.
So we have quite a bit of tea. So I'm happy with this tea. It's gonna be a good like testing tea for us to use. Such a precious like tea to use for experimenting, but we want this water to be good with precious teas, you know, like really, really nice teas. Okay. Yesterday was fun. I had a really good time yesterday. I was so excited to do the stream today. I think I'm not someone who like develops things very well, like alone. I just don't see the point. It's like, is it just for me? Which, you know, I can have some of that, but like it's when I get excited by like people's experiences and opinions that like things are a lot more like it feels more worth it to actually like do.
Do you also want to do the same temperature?
Okay, what temperature should we use for brewing? What temperature do you guys usually use when you brew green tea from Japan and Shincha in general? I'd like to just get like a kind of like room answer on this, because you know me, I'll use very hot water for green tea and I won't apologize for that, but I do want this to kind of like be good for not just me and Steven. We can always adjust, you know. What temperature do you use for brewing green tea? Question for the room. Japanese green tea, specifically. And we'll make a decision. Okay, so 2.5 grams for each. Then we have to figure out which water level. Okie dokie.
250 ml.
So 250 ml of each water. So Andrew, which by the way, hi guys, how's it going? Andrew, nice to see you. Sammy, nice to see you. Andrew Murphy, Neil, Teaspoon View, welcome. We're looking at what temperature we're gonna use. 85 degrees for Andrew, that's Celsius, of course. Usually follow the farmer's recommendations, so 85 degrees Celsius. They're saying 85 degrees Celsius for the second steep, right? So 85 degrees Celsius might be nice. Between 70 and 85 degrees Celsius. I like 85 degrees Celsius. It's not too low. I know some people like to go a lot lower, and I like to use that too for like certain situations. But I think 85 will be good. Yeah. Okay.
And so I have tea curious.
Okay.
What's
Okay.
the second?
So let's do tea curious first, and then we'll do the snow water. I would
Which
say. The one we have more of.
Okay.
It's so funny. We packed those Nalgene's, but they melted because it's snow. Of course. I'm sorry. It's just a stupid.
No, not this. From the prior trip.
Probably the prior trip one,
Okay.
right? What do you think?
Sure.
Uh,
And then this one.
I think the Nalgene one
one.
actually. I don't know. Pick one, Steven. We went twice to the top of that same mountain, and one of them is actually more pure than the other one. Which one should we do? The
Should
more
we
pure
measure
one?
them?
Oh yeah,
TDS.
let's TDS meter them. I want to see if there's a difference. So same mountain. My favorite side by sides.
Some junk in there, but you know, whatever.
What's the junk?
We'll just, I don't know.
Is this yours? You collected it from a tree. So Steven and I collected from 2 different spots.
There's also junk in here.
Yeah. That just looks like tree stuff. I'm okay
Maybe we
with
should
it.
boil these waters.
We're gonna boil them.
No, we're not.
Oh, that's true. Well, we want to boil them and bring them down. Oh shit! What about that? Sorry. What about that? Are we gonna take them up to temperature and drop them, or?
Maybe we should just use boiling.
Oh wow. Okay, so we're testing the TDS of the snow water. This one is 6 parts per million. So pure.
6?
Yeah, but also like pure, but also why is it 6 parts per million? Because snow in theory, when it comes up and comes down, there should be no mineral content in it. So that could also just be my TDS meter. It's hard to tell.
Well, if it sits on the ground for a while, it might just collect like atmospheric stuff, right?
Yeah, because this is a mountain near the city. So this one is what? It's a big difference, Steven. This one is, oh my gosh, what a big difference. So same mountain, different collection points. This is a little lower down the mountain. This one's 20.
Wow.
That's crazy. don't use your TDS meters as end all be alls. They're not exact. It's just good to like have like a rough estimate of how heavy something is. Like this is a perfect use for a TDS meter, comparing two different waters. So if one is 7 and one is 24, then yeah, we'll use the pure one if that's okay.
Measure that one.
Oh,
That's the third
this
one.
is the third one. Yeah, let's see. Ooh. Okay. This one doesn't have stuff in it. Is this mine? Because I collected from
I'll
like
take the picture because we took the picture.
7. 7, Steven.
Okay.
Okay. So we'll use the purest one. I'll probably use this one, Steven, if that's okay. Okay. So snow water's at 7. I wonder why that is. It should be like very close to like 0. Maybe whatever like water was left behind there, or my
So
TDS
this
meter
one-
is just acting weird.
This one was mine. That was yours.
Oh yeah? Oh, so I had the better collection? No, it's the same TDS reading, so
Okay, so
let's use that.
and then this will be the third one.
Yes, the Minami Alps.
And are we
Okay,
boiling?
so to I think that one you can just take up the temperature because it's a very clean bottle.
Okay.
That collection. So just to get you up to speed, we've kind of measured our snow water, gotten to know it. The snow water is reading at 7 TDS, which is very very light, but odd because snow water technically should be like nothing. So it might be a TDS meter thing, or it might be just it picked up some kind of mineral along the way. It just doesn't make sense why, but okay. You can't always have like complete and total certainty. I just have to be aware of it. So Tikira's water original. This is going to be our kind of like our control. This is going to be the snow water from Mount Charleston. I don't know what the elevation of that mountain is. It's the tallest spot in this area of the desert. Like it collects snow, which is crazy for Las Vegas. So we collected the snow maybe like 2-3 weeks ago. And then we will do the Minami Alps water. Okay. Sounds good, Steven?
Mhm.
You ready? T Potato is asking dirty Nalgene. It's like, oh,
So
I
85.
think we cleaned it out. Yeah, 85 degrees
Celsius.
Celsius.
Sea curious.
Tikira's water.
250 ml is in there, so just pour the whole thing.
Thank you. All right. So we're doing Tikira's water with the Shizuoka Shincha from Dens. This is the Tawadazawa area. Yabuhita cultivar. So this will be our control. $250 is a lot of water if you're like pouring gently.
Yeah.
Okay. Beautiful. The leaves are so gorgeous on this tea. My God. Good stuff. Yeah. And the next one will be the snow water. And let us know if you have any questions. This is just, again, going through the steps. Joni, nice to see you. And Marilyn, nice to see you too. We are around halfway through our test, our like process for today. First, we drank that shincha together. It's a good shincha. It's dense tea. Yabuhita shincha from Tawadazawa. Good stuff. Honestly, not the most like mind-blowing shincha I've ever had, but it's very basic, kind of like straightforward good. But it made me giggle when I first had it, meaning like it's quite good. It's really really good. I'm happy with it. And it's Yabukita from Shizuoka, and like it's, I think I'm guessing that like Dens might have like, I don't know, did they blend this tea? I'm not sure, but straightforward shincha. I'm actually very happy that it's just a very straightforward shincha, not too weird. Yeah. So now we're waiting for the snow water to come up to temperature. Let's try the tea curious water while waiting, because green tea will, I mean, I'm happy bowl brewing and stuff, but it will change a little faster. Green tea will. See how quickly the tea curious water opened up these leaves, by the way? Steven, if you could get the shot.
I'll have to move the bowl over there.
Okay, no worries. I just brewed it, but tea curious water is a high extracting water, original especially. So like you can see how quickly I just brewed the tea, but the leaves are opening up so much already. Good, yeah. So this is cool because we drank this tea with the same water in the Kyushu earlier. And I think I just like a higher temperature water. I think it tastes better like this, to be honest. I like this 85 degrees for Shinja. I think it just has more character. Oh, so good. That buttery kind of like pastry note comes up a little more. Okay, so that's good. Really, really tasty. Snow water. Thank you, Snow water. That was a really good day. So we collected these from like the highest point in that general vicinity of that peak. Basically sky, just sky above us, which is beautiful. So thank you for joining us, water friends. Now, I have collected snow from Las Vegas before, and I was very unpleasantly surprised by what happened. It's just crazy. Like, sometimes, even if you think it's going to be pure water that you're collecting, there's just so much ambient, like, atmospheric stuff going on that the water, even on its way down, picks up some kind of taste. So I am kind of, like, prepared if this snow water, which is supposed to be from a very clean, pure area, is going to have an off taste just because of the environmental pollution, but you know, we'll see. Some real going on. Yeah, the first time I had snow water here, I collected from like a area closest to the mountains. It tasted like gas. It was not good. And that was after multiple days of like it raining and snowing and raining. So you'd think that all the stuff from the air had been like cleared out, but no. So hopefully, you know, this water that we collected, snow that we collected, which snow is just another form of water. Taste okay. Then this last one will be the Minami Alps water from yesterday. I'm already seeing like a difference in the way this looks. It's very interesting.
Quite.
I mean, this is a lighter water, right? This is Chihira's original water that we know really well. Nothing done to it, just Chihira's original. This is snow water. Why are you floating? So mysterious. I'm a little nervous. Okay, let's see. So snow water. Hope it's good. I think I drank it around this time. So you see the leaves are opening up a lot here too, with the snow water. And if you could get a picture of this, Stephen, the leaves. It's opening up quite a bit because, you know, the lower the mineral content of the water, the more likely to have low hardness. And if you have a low hardness water, that's what makes it a higher extracting water. So, see how like open the leaves are. It's pretty nice. And that means that just more is getting extracted from that water. Andrew's asking elevation of the snow collection point. I think like he pulled it up 8,700 feet or something like that. Oh shit, we like hiked up high. We were beat up that day. 10,000 feet. Oh, how gentle! Oh, wow! Wow, it's like a song. Steven. Which... I'm having a moment. You can't make me brew faster than this.
Temperature's gonna change.
I know. Wow. Wow. Oh, Steven, have this tea. I'm sorry, I spoiled it for you. Have some while I do. It's so hard doing experiments when you want to just enjoy the tea, but it's a necessary evil. I'm gonna do it. I mean, I love experiments, but I just want to sit with that tea for a little bit. So this last one is the Minami Alps water, Japanese water that we got from, it's bottled water from Uwajimaya in LA. And we tested the TDS and it is around like 58 or 70, I think was where it was yesterday. So, again, these, a lot of the bottled waters from other countries will have a TDS reading on the back, which is quite, you know, nice to have, but also I test the water anyway with a TDS meter because natural seasonality, like variances, like the same water in the same location will change in minerality from different seasons because let's say if there's a drought, there's going to be more minerals versus actual water, right? So it's going to be a heavier water the next season. and so on. Okay, this is beautiful. The snow water is gorgeous. My God, it's so beautiful. What an experience just here on the side. Wow. Um, Thoughts, Steven, on the snow water? Good. Ooh! But interestingly, it's changed a lot just from the 2 seconds that I've drunk it. It's very, it's extracting very quickly. I mean, of course, it's brewing in the bowl, but like, I almost think this is the effect of like really, 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 really low mineral water. It's extracting it a little too quickly, so that it's becoming a little bitter. I like it, but I think that it's a little harsh. It might be good for just like regular brewing, though. I'm not sure. Like not in a bowl. What a I don't know if this is just like a placebo effect. 'Cause it's like, wow, snow water, how beautiful. But I think I was pretty aware it could like not be good. I think this is just gorgeous. I think it's just so pillowy and fluffy and like a little floral. That floral that I was like, oh, Shincha can be kind of floral. It's coming out a little bit more. It's got a lot of elegance. And when I say the word elegant, you know, honestly, if you want to attach that to a flavor, like chemical term in the tea, for me, elegance is like the right amount of polyphenol, because polyphenols are bittersweets and stuff with a little bit of bitterness kind of round out the profile. I find to be elegant. Beautiful, really nice, really, really, really nice. I like that. We just have to tone it back some of the bitterness a little bit. It's bitter, which me and Steven are actually quite big fans of bitterness. I know that sounds kind of weird, but like the natural bitterness of a tea, I think I'm a big fan of because I like the tea to taste like tea. It's not it honestly it is bitter. Like yeah, it's quite bitter, but it's not a problem. I'd rather have bitterness than like dullness in a tea. It's not unpleasant though, is what I'm trying to say. Okay, so this last one is that Minami Alps water, the Japanese alpine water. Wow, oh my gosh, we're getting assaulted with amazing flavors right now. Holy shit, Japan's like, this is my tea, this is my water. Boom. That's the best. I'm sorry. It's already like not. I decided that's the best. Oh my gosh. Wow! That's so good! Whew! Wow. Japan, like, asked me to hold its beer. Like, hold my beer, hold my Asahi. Hold my Asahi. Or hold my Kirin. I really like Kirin. Oh! Amazing! I'm having a moment. Steven, you gotta try this. Are you able to separate my reactions from your actual, like...
Yeah, totally.
You think so, but... Amazing. Wow! So good. That's stupid. That's insane. I wish you could taste this. I wish you could taste this. Oh, Steven made a face. Steven usually doesn't make faces. So is it true? Japanese water and Japanese tea? You know, like...
Well, this water, right? We haven't... Because those two are going to be a different story.
Right, but like that's famous water, right? Like, oh my gosh, like, so good. Amazing. Oh, wow. Guys, I think this is... having a moment. Which, yes, so many kinds of Japanese waters. Steven wants to take the tea away from me. But this water, I've read a lot of like comments on like Japanese tea forums about this water for tea, and I can see why. It's gorgeous. It takes it to a whole nother level. Like the tea curious water is great, but I'm like finding, oh, the tea is like a nice standard tea. The snow water makes it a little bit better. I would honestly say the tea curious original is the worst of this bunch. Not to say it's bad,
I agree.
but it's the least performing out of all of them. I'm happy with it. Honestly, I'm not, because
Go back and forth between
now,
these two.
now that I've like tasted the other ones, you know.
You wouldn't describe this water as sour, but next to that, it's almost, you could almost use that word.
Oh no, this is our baby, so we're always sensitive about Tea Curious Water Original.
Well, we're still honest. Yeah.
Oh wow, it is like very poppy, which we know this about this water. It is a very poppy, zesty water, but yeah, it's very like
And then try the
sour.
other one. Yeah. Not very sour. It's just,
It's sour, yeah.
next to that one.
Wow. It is so amazing. The balance. Okay, so let's summarize what's going on. Which, by the way, thanks for waiting for me to like have a moment with all of these. Um, Andrew, thank you for letting me know about the pollution situation. That's good to know. So, meaning this is from 8,000, 10,000 meters snow water collection.
Feet.
So, feet. Sorry, I'm just having a moment. So, thank you for letting us know. Leaves in Hot Water, hello. Picky Buds, Marie, nice to see you. Caitlin, nice to see you. Let's summarize what's happening. So, Tea Curious Water Original recipe. Collected snow water from Bristlecone Peak, Mount Charleston. We wrote in the little like geocache there, so the proof that we were there. 10,000 feet elevation, one of the highest peaks in this area. And then that snow was deep too. We were like swimming through snow that day. And Minami Alps Japanese water, alpine water that I've read even before we found this at Uwajimaya that it's amazing for tea, which is why when I saw it at the store, I'm like, we need to get it. So those are the three with this Yabukita Shinja from Dens. Tea Curious Water Original, honestly, the loser in this round. Like, I don't think it's a bad water, but I don't think it's the best. Like, it honestly is the worst out of the three, which is why we want to make a new water. For green tea, right? Because yesterday the Tea Curious Original was the winner for the oolong, which
Is what we decided for.
I'm very open about this. We drink a lot of oolong, and that tea that we brewed is actually we
Mostly
tested
testing.
it. We did so many tests with that oolong. So original is good for oolong and good for lighter waters, or lighter teas too. But we actually drop the mineral content. We use original at 0.5, like half the dropper, when we dose it for brewing green tea. So Tea Curious Original here is just, yeah, it is sour compared to the other two, which is very tart. You can get that peppery note when you have pepper show up on your palate. For me, that reads as being polyphenols again, like an excess of polyphenols. So some Japanese green teas, I noticed this during Global Japanese Tea Marathon's thing last year. They're like, oh, like this specific cultivar has a very high incidence of polyphenols. And when polyphenols are high in a tea, in a certain balance, I find that it can get peppery, which is a nice note. I like it. It depends though, right? It depends. And here you can see clearly that there's just a lot of polyphenol thing going on here. Which we know that about Tea Curious water. It's a high extracting water. So it pulls a lot of those polyphenols out. It's peppery. It is the first one to be brewed, so it is gonna get more on the dry side compared to the other three. But it really is like more kind of like it's got the harsh edges. Yeah. I still think it's good. It has a nice aftertaste, but compared to the other ones, honestly, poorer than the other ones. So the snow water, what made me so excited about this one, let me like confirm again. It's so good. It's so soft. It's like silky sheets. Yeah, it's so soft and so quiet. It's just very, very subtle, soft, floral, wispy floral, like, like shh. Even drinking it makes me want to like just shh, which is it's a gorgeous effect. I really like that effect. And what's happening here is the snow water being by far the lightest water out of all of these, but with just a tiny bit of mineral content. Whatever that mineral content is just very slightly like muting it. So I'm guessing whatever it is might be bicarbonate, not much hardness. because it's also extracting a lot, but just the balance of like this water, the balance of the minerals is just not. If you ever had RO water and RO water is a little too thin and like tasteless, you just add a tiny bit of mineral content to RO water to get this kind of like very, 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 very light water, 7 TDS. And you get that awesome effect of like, it's almost tasteless like RO water, but just a wisp of like flavors. It's so subtle and nuanced. Really nice. So nice. Like if you listen to music, it's a whole small like instrumentation, like just very, very, very light. Really nice effect. I like this a lot. I would take this over to Curious Water. And then let's go back to the Minami Alps. What makes it so amazing? It just bowled me over. It's so good. The balance is gorgeous. So, what if you're not in the mood for like this very, very, very light, like almost ghostly water, right? The balance of the Japanese Minami Alps water is just on point. Like the umami is there, pure clean umami, verging just tiny bit into like the rich side, which I like a lot. Mellow. It's got a little bit of that catechin, like polyphenol action happening now because it's steeping in the bowl, but not as much. And sweet. It's a lot sweeter than the Tea Curious water original, which we wanted to get from this Japanese green tea recipe. It goes down really, really nice too. Really nice, like, finish. Soft. That's good. Japan wins, man. I'm sorry. Like, Japan wins over Tea Curious water original. So the point now, why we're doing this is we're trying to find a water that we will then copy using our mineral salts, because as amazing as this water is, it's so soft. So nice, rounded, beautiful. It's great. I want to use it for all my Japanese green teas forever, but we only have like a liter left of it, right? And we have to buy it from the store and use a plastic bottle, and I don't want to do that forever. So what we will do now is to take that bottle. Do you have the bottle, Steven? We will take that bottle and then like look at the mineral content of this water and try to copy it using our mineral salts, food grade mineral salts, which is what the point of Tea Curious water is, right? These are just mineral salts that you add to your base water to try to copy natural water, right? Same natural minerals found in natural water like calcium, potassium. I'm like using my katakana here. I forgot. That's calcium right there. Calcium, magnesium. They don't tell us about bicarbonate, but we can probably find a breakdown online. So we will copy that, put that in here, and that's going to be your copy of the water that is so amazing from Japan. Now, it is not the exact same water, right? It's not the exact same water, but it's going to be good. What we do then from here, I think we need to run a couple more tests, test out like the Voss, test out some of the other waters, and then see if there's like one that can compete with this one. We have a couple more like recipes we picked up from like Kyoto that we'll probably like try to emulate too to see if it can compare to this one. But if this one's the best, or if there's another one that's like good like that, we want to combine the two kind of like profiles. We will then, approximate it with mineral salts. But this is amazing. It's hard to think of like a water that's gonna be. I mean, I'm not gonna say that. It's in front of me. I'm sure there are other amazing waters, but like, what can compete with that? I kind of want to like do another round of this. I mean, it's my fucking live stream.
Darjeeling?
Huh?
Darjeeling?
No, with the same water. Same water, same tea, but like with Voss and another thing. Because I like the snow water, but I don't think it's what I want for spring. I almost said something for the water that we're doing, that we're releasing this spring. The recipe that's happening next week that we haven't named, that we already have a name for, but I don't want to tell you guys. If someone can guess it, we were talking about this. If someone can guess what the name of this water is, we'll send you a batch. Like the first bottle that's ever made will be yours. So take a guess. DM me as much as you want. Not
We'll
not
do
too
that
much, but
competition in stories, right?
huh?
We'll do that competition in stories.
And here too. If someone figures it out right here, figure it out right now. Yeah, no problems. So, yeah, good stuff. So we'll do. It's my freaking live stream. So I know we're getting like over the hour, but like I said, this is going to be like the actual process. I want to right now test this water compared to the Evian, not the Evian, but the Voss and Poland Spring. I would say,
Poland Spring?
yeah,
Great.
Voss and Poland Spring.
Want to clean these out?
What's that?
Do you have new bowls or do you want to clean them out or what?
Yeah, we'll clean them out. So, really good stuff. Really, really nice. Okay, so what's next? Let's oops, sorry. I don't want to like drop stuff on you guys and make you hear stuff. So we will switch gears. If you want to stay, stay. If you want to go, no problem. I'm not going to keep you here forever. But we will now do another test because I think it's very necessary for us to do this quickly. The Minami Alps water compared to Voss and Poland Spring. I'm not sure if you guys have used these famous brands from the market before, but Voss and Poland Spring are two of the waters that are very, very popular to use for Japanese green tea because they're soft. So Poland Spring is from Maine here in the United States. It's one of the softest waters on the market here. I'm gonna guess it's not gonna be anything special compared to like the really soft Japanese waters. But soft water is kind of a rarity here in the States. You'll find it for sure, but it's not as common. It's much easier to find like harder water in the United States, just our geology. And then, so it's a spring water around like, it usually reads between like 20 and 40 TDS whenever I see it.
Poland Spring?
Yeah, Poland
It's
Spring.
not a spring water.
It's not?
And that's the problem.
What
with
is
the
it?
Name.
What is
That's
it?
their legal issues.
I thought it was a spring water, broski. This specific one, Origin, is a spring water.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so they had like this this marketing problem because like Poland Spring was confusing for a long time. Some people thought it was like from a spring called Poland Spring or if it was from Poland, you know. It turned out that they were like mixing different batches of water, right, Steven? Is that what you're calling out to me?
I would have to look it up. But
Yeah,
I
something-
just remember the name was an issue.
Yeah. So they had, I think someone, did they go to court or something like that?
I don't know.
There was some kind of issue with Poland Spring. So now there's Poland Spring normal, and then I think Poland Spring like Origin, and Origin is the one that's a single origin water. And just to explain what's happening here, when bottled water companies bottle their water, they don't necessarily verify if it's the same source for the whole country. So for example, if you have Arrowhead water, Arrowhead in Las Vegas versus Arrowhead you buy in Florida versus Arrowhead you buy in Maine versus Arrowhead you buy elsewhere can be different. I think Arrowhead has like multiple, I think it's like less than 10, but more than 5 different sources. So the Arrowhead that you might like, if you go somewhere else, you visit a friend or a relative or something, it's not gonna be the same water. That's tricky. Same thing with Crystal Geyser is like that too. So, yeah, that's why it's not consistent. And then Poland Spring had this issue then where they had multiple sources of the waters, I think was what it was. Don't quote me on that. But that's why now if I look for Poland Spring, I look for Origin. Which, can we verify that, Steven? Is it the bottle we have Origin?
Give me a sec.
Okay, cool. So that's the situation. Any questions, let me know. By the way, we'll shift gears to this second test. Yeah, Poland Spring Origin. So that's what I'm looking for if I'm looking for a Poland Spring. Yeah, it's a spring water. They made it very clear here. Here beneath the surface are spring water filters through 10,000-year-old glacial sands. So, yep. Source, White Cedar Spring, in Maine. So this is what you want if you're looking for Poland Spring. Origin, right here. I think that's what happened. I'm not sure if you can still find like regular blended Poland Spring, but that's also why when I ask you to do, those of you who are in Water Wizardry, our course, I asked you to test specifically Voss and Evian, because Voss and Evian, as far as I know through like a lot of research we did, Voss and Evian, they are very consistent about the source. Voss is just one source. and Evian's just one source. So if you buy Evian in Indonesia, if you buy Evian in Djibouti, you know, if you buy Evian in Canada, compared to Evian here, you're getting the same water that we're tasting. So when we taste a water with tea with Evian together, we're having more or less the same experience, more or less. Same thing with Voss.
So,
But if you buy smart water from here in Vegas versus smart water somewhere else, actually smart water is not a good example. They have like a very specific formula for smart water. That's smart water is treated water that they add minerals back in, so it's just like Securus water. What's another one that's not as like Crystal Geyser. If you buy Crystal Geyser somewhere else, it could be you don't know which batch of Crystal Geyser that is. So yeah. I saw that Leo popped in from Tea and Whisk. I kind of like on purpose ignored him. He's still there, Leo. You can't like you can't. I don't want to. I don't want to spoil anything. So Leo from Tea and Whisk, we're actually gonna have a tasting with him to see which ones he likes, and I won't tell him which one is the real one because we're gonna do that workshop with him next week. With this new water. So Leo, of course, you're welcome to be here, but spoiler alert. Yeah, Tyler, nice to see you. Yes, we're doing Shinsha. We tasted the Shinsha. We're having this dense tea, Yabukita Shinsha from Tawarazawa, Shizuoka. It's really, really good. I thought it was fantastic with the Japanese water. So to get you up to speed for those of you who are coming in, tasted the Shinsha. We did this round of snow water, Japanese water, and Tea Curious Original. Tea Curious Original was the worst performing water from those three with the Shinsha, which is good. I like that result because that means that there's room for us to improve with the specific Japanese green tea recipe. Very happy about that. Of course, it's our baby. I want it to be good with everything, but it's not going to happen. Water is just so, you know, it depends on the tea, right? So that's what's happening. So now we will do the Japanese Alps water. That was the best from that round. It was amazing. It's a famous water that I've seen people talk about in the Japanese tea forums as being amazing for brewing tea. We will compare that now to some global waters in the same neighborhood, Voss and Poland Spring. So Voss is from... Where's Voss from? Forgot. The snowy areas. The north. Norway. And then Poland Spring is from Maine, here. Norway, yeah. Okay.
Norway the teas?
Yeah. All right. So let's weigh the tea out. This is going to be the last round of testing we do today, because after that, probably our palates will get blown out.
Super.
What's that? Yeah. How's it going? So, Sujan, it's so nice to see you. How's your internet connection from Nepal? Dhanyabad for joining us. Shiloh, nice to see you too. And Sebastian. Yeah. Yamila, nice to see you. Cool. We got some guesses for the name of this water. Caitlin guessed Haru, which I honestly considered that. I wanted to call it Haru, but I already spoiled it. It's not Haru. Don't tell the people from stories that you already got a clue from me. That'd be great, though. Maybe you should change our mind, Steven.
Do you have a preferred order?
How about you blind taste me?
Okay.
Blind test me, yeah. Perfect. So I'm not going to know which order we're going in. I'm too distracted with you guys anyway to know what Steven's doing over there. So we will do those three waters, Voss, Poland Spring, and the Japanese water. I'm not going to know which one I'm trying. Ooh! Blind tasting! It's my favorite kind of experiment. That's just the best. Can I have a towel, Steven, by the way? We talked about this, Caitlin, yesterday. Why do I not get up from my seat when I'm here? Well, number one, I just don't want to trip over myself with all the wires we got. And number two, there's this Filipino... In the Philippines, my mom's side of the family is from this area that's famous for being like super witchy and like supernatural. It's called Capiz. And in Capiz, it's really famous. I mean, the Philippines in general is very mystical, but in Capiz specifically, when you say Capiz, people are like, yo, did you see like aswang there? And aswang is like a witch. Aswang is like a witch or creature. It could be like a human who has supernatural powers or a separate like non-human entity. The Philippines is mythology because it's, you know, it's not a Western, not purely Western mythos, you know? It doesn't have very, very clear denotations of what stuff is. So Aswang is just like this vaguely, there's like a vaguely feminine aspect to Aswang, I think. But it's a creature that only has a half body, and during the night it detaches from like either it has only half body or it detaches from its like lower body and goes flying out to like eat babies with a long tongue. And that's also related to the concept of manananggal, another like half like flying creature. So whenever I ask my uncle about stories about copies, he's like, "Oh yeah, like just be careful when you go there. You'll find someone who's like only half there, flying around in the forest, like." So it just reminds me of that. So, and if you say someone's from copies, depending on how like in the know that Filipino person is, they might make like a naswang joke, like, "Oh, so you have like, aunt that like eats babies or something like that." That's very specific, but you kind of get it, right? So I only have a half body, basically, because I can't get up because I don't like to push stuff. All right, ready? We got this stuff going on. I don't know what this first water is that we're drinking. Same temperature, 85 degrees Celsius. Let me know if you have any questions.
Don't look over.
I'm not gonna look. Okay. Let's see. Tyler says, "Oh no, I just got some original formula for the Shinchai I ordered." I'll DM you. I still think it's gonna be good. I actually recommend doing a side-by-side with the original and this new formula for the Shincha, because I bet there's still gonna be some Shincha that the original will be better with.
Half strength.
But knowing your taste, to be honest, I'm kind of thinking about you and like a lot of our Japanese tea drinking friends, because there is a area of the palate that is not being covered by original or autumn. So that's what we're working on. So yeah. Joni's saying maybe you can test the original alongside new formula. Yes, we will be doing that. So many tests going up.
Water A.
And then, did you try the Darjeeling yet? No, we haven't tried it yet. Yeah. Okay. So water A. I don't know which one this is. With the same Shincha, same bowl, same brewing parameter, 2.5 grams and 85 degrees Celsius water. I am so caffeinated right now. Fresh green tea, multiple first steeps, multiple prolonged steeps. Yep. We gotta eat after this.
It's 2.5 grams, right?
Yes.
So we'll be up to 15 grams of tea after.
Woo! 15 grams of Shincha today, you and me. We can handle this. We prepped. We only had that Anji Bai, which, of all the teas you could have brewed today, the Anji Baicha is another like really caffeinated kind of like tea. So I don't know what this is. This is water A. This could be Voss, Poland Spring, or Tea Curious. Not Tea Curious original. The Kagoshima. Not Kagoshima. The Minami Alps water. I'm sorry. Let me take a breather to like let the caffeine settle into my system. Okay. I'm not sure what the water is. We will see. You guys doing okay, by the way? We're doing great. I'm really enjoying what we're discovering. There's so much potential with this new water. I'm so excited. I'm really excited. And then we do have other Shincha that we will test too. So this is not the only Shincha we will test. Because, there's so many kinds of Shincha, so many ways of brewing Shincha. So that we have a nice kind of like range of Shincha that we're testing. Okay, I'm going to test this now. All right. Who are you? I wonder if I'll be able to identify the Minami Alps water, because I've had it once. In theory, I should be able to pick it out again. This is not the Minami Alps water.
What makes you say that?
It's just not.
You seem very sure.
It just doesn't read. I'm like, I haven't met you today. Who is this girl? I'm not sure though. I'm actually not sure. Honestly, me and Steven, we're quite good at blind tasting water, but sometimes we get surprised. I think that this is, I'm not sure actually. This is either the Poland Spring or the Voss, my guess. These are very similar waters, so
Water number
it's
2.
gonna be interesting to see if I can identify it. All right, water number 2. I don't know. You're not. Now you're freaking me out. You seem very sure of me. Maybe it actually is. How funny would it be? But yeah, these are very similar waters, so I'm not gonna be that mad if I can't identify it. But I'll be a little mad. Like a tiny bit mad. Okay. This is water B. I'm honestly a little competitive. I want to know if I can get it right. How would you rate my performance level with blind tastings with water, Steven?
We'll see after this.
Whoa! Fighting words! Oh my gosh. Fighting words. How about you do it then? I'm just kidding. This is my job. Yeah. Okay. So I don't know what this is. I'll let it sit for a little bit. Yeah. So Tea Potato is having the Beni Homare with Autumn and an Icelandic water. Cool. Very nice. Caitlin, thank you for reminding me to drink water. Yeah, I'm usually very dehydrated anyway. Yeah, Joni, my serious look just allows me to relax my facial muscles after all this caffeine that's coursing through my system. Arjun, nice to see you. First name, McKenna. Yeah, nice to see you. Welcome. We're just testing our waters for this new recipe we're developing. Caitlin's asking, I'm curious how Hojicha would work. Hojicha is amazing with Autumn. I'm just gonna tell you already. One of the teas that we tested to work well with Autumn is Hojicha. It's really good with Autumn. Yeah, there's a specific kind of like combination of minerals that we found will bring out like the caramel note from Hojicha, and Autumn kind of like hits close to there. So, Autumn. But, you know, it'd be nice to see how this new water develops and tastes with Hojicha too. Because there is when the Autumn sacrifices a lot of like the innate kind of like umami of Hojicha in favor of that brown sugar kind of caramel note. So if you like Hojicha with a little bit of that leaf taste still in, this new water might be better. This might be... I think this is the Minami Alps one. I'm looking at Steven's face to see. Actually, I don't know. It seems familiar, but I'm not sure. I think it is, but it might not be. I think it is, but it might not be. Okay, last one. So this is water C. Can you give me a clue, Steven? Don't. I'm just kidding. I just want to get it right. I don't know. I wonder which one is which. All right. You know what I should have done? I should have known what the tea felt like. That's what I'm looking for too, is that this tastes like the Minami Alps water, but I didn't giggle like I did the first time. So let's see.
Which one?
The B. My teacher I, she did like she's a certified Taiwanese tea taster specialist thing. The old version of the test, apparently the new one's easier. Shh. This is gossip. Just gossip. But she said that when she was doing her blind tasting, she couldn't identify the tea so well based on taste, so she went by feeling. And she was one of the highest scorers once she did that. I'm like, holy shit. What the hell? I think she had a blind taste like 100 teas.
She got like 98.
I think she got like 87 right, which is ridiculous. Because you have to identify like the cultivar, the processing style, which area of Taiwan it's from. That's ridiculous. Oh my gosh. Like, and I think the passing score is 60. These are like random. Whenever people tell you tea stories, they're not facts, okay? Remember that the human memory is so... Yeah, like, you know, our tea teachers tell us tea stories that change based on the week, and they're vaguely around the same neighborhood. That's just the way that human stories are. They're not invalid, just remember. Don't quote the exact numbers. Okay, let's taste this tea. I think that this is the one, just because it made me like go like this. Oh no! Yeah, that one's making me giggle. Maybe it's because it's already the third tea, and my body's all like jazzed up already. That's what happened with the first round, right? Can I do this? I need to go with my gut. I'm so scared of being wrong
I
here.
haven't tried them yet.
That's my like secret like thing. I don't like being wrong, which is why it's so central to Tea Curious to be okay with being wrong. Cause it's just my character flaw. It's not that I'm not okay with being wrong, but the way I was raised was to always be right. So it makes me very nervous to be in positions of not knowing. But again, that's why we like it so much, is that when you're pushing yourself, pushing the buttons that are like a little sticky on your like person, that's when you learn the most. So I will do the scary thing and actually make some like confident guesses. Who doesn't like to be right? But I think in particular, I just really don't like being wrong. But then I'm very aware of it as a result.
So you think the order is affecting it, or
That's
do
Minami
you want me to
Alps.
rearrange the order?
I would say no. I think I can rearrange the order myself.
Okay.
I think it's Minami Alps water. It just feels familiar. It made me like giggle like the first time I had it. This is more similar to this. So can I make a guess? This might be the Poland Spring one. Poland Spring is. Can I use my TDS meter? Can I test it? The Poland Spring.
The bottle?
The bottle, yeah.
Okay.
I just want to know. What should I do? So these two are more similar to one another. And then this last one, the first one that we had, water A, is the most different. That's very different. I don't recognize this water. It's good though. This is really, really, I like this a lot. I like this one. This is okay.
So before I tell you the answers, I want to rearrange them without you looking.
What?
And then you
Why?
can try it again.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
You'll keep
So
track though?
to see if you're consistent with your round one blind.
I can just drink water. Okay, fine. You can do it. Just for fun. Or, I mean, we do this anyway when we test. Yeah, so this round of
There's
Poland
always
Spring
a
we
give it
have
to me in a
is...
different order.
Oh, it is so light. 18. Can I try the Voss too? So my guess for now is this is the Minami Alps. This is whatever is the lighter water, and this is the one that's left. I think this is the Voss. I'm just guessing. It's just so different. It's just such a different, like... It's just so different. Let's see. Tea Potato, how's your Benny Homare test going? It's a nice water. Very tasty. Okay, let's see. So that's Poland Spring. This is Voss. And I'm just testing to see if what we know in theory about these waters, based on like the bottle and what is published by the company, is actually what is in the water that's in the bottles. Over here. Here. Thank you. Oh my gosh, they're so similar. Fuck. So now I gotta like think about the geological chuba. Geological differences. So I think the Voss would be the most different. Because in theory, Poland Spring and I bet that these are Poland Spring. This is just the most different. So I'm gonna go, yeah, these two have more similarities. They have like a round kind of like umami, clear, sweet, like rounded thing. This is just better. This one is in the neighborhood, but not as impressive as this one. This one is just way different. It's like floral and like, it's floral, but it's good. I like it a lot. By the way, the reading I got from the Voss and the Poland Spring, they're almost the same TDS. So this is a very tricky test. So maybe this is why this is similar. This Poland Spring is just like half of what this minerality is. Oh my gosh. Okay, so that's my guess. Can you keep track of what my guesses are, Stephen?
Mm-hmm.
And you'll keep track of what the actual waters are still.
Mhm.
Steven's a water wizard. Yeah, these are very similar. This is just better. I think the sweetness is bicarbonate coming out here. This is less bicarbonate. I'm digging myself further down into my like guessing hole, but I think it's a good guess. And I think that's Voss. There's some of like that same snowy shit from like the collected snow water. Okay, you can kind of like rearrange it again. Why are we rearranging it again, Steven?
Do you not want to?
You want me to see if you want to see if I can identify
If
them
your
again?
guesses are consistent with your own blind guesses.
Yeah.
Again.
I just want to see. I can still see Steven. I'm just kidding. I'm just wigging you out. So we're rearranging it. So if the order or some kind of unknown variable is in the way, can I identify my same guesses again? Are you done? You guys know. I don't know. I'm the only one who doesn't know, Steven. It's all the most challenging things. Not knowing.
Okay, go ahead.
You done? Okay. I can see the color difference though. I feel like this is water sea. Can someone give me a hint? You guys know. Okay. That's water A. Water C, water A? I think. Water B.
Okay, so you're right.
What? Seriously? Dope. Okay.
About the letters.
Okay. What about the... Okay, so... Alright.
So this is A, B, C.
Let's put them in the original order.
Yeah.
So this is A. So it is... there is a
I don't
difference.
confuse people.
There is a difference, but... So I can identify the differences. It's clear enough that I can blind identify which waters are which. Which is...
So
Waters
back in
Empire
the
and...
original position.
This is the scary part.
Wait, did you... What did you just move?
I moved in the correct order.
What did you move to where?
I don't remember. I'll just say it again because apparently I know which order it is. That's water A. Water B, and water C.
Okay. So you moved this one to the end. Yeah.
Water A, water B, water C.
Okay, sure.
I'm scared. Yes, tell me what the answers are.
A, which you thought was Voss,
Oh my gosh, it's not Voss. What is it? Here's the results.
Poland Spring.
Okay. Okay.
B, which you thought was Poland Spring.
Okay.
You right?
Yeah.
Was Voss.
Oh shit! So I did recognize it.
Yep.
That's okay. I'm cool with that. So I was able to recognize the. It's just that good. Okay, thanks. I like use your heart to like identify the tea in a blind tasting. Wow, I'm not that mad about this being wrong because they're so similar.
Before you looked at the numbers, you switched them.
That's true.
Your feeling, you had all three right.
Don't coach me in live.
You looked at
I'm
the
just
math
kidding.
and you messed yourself up.
It's important to look at the math, but I still would have thought that. Wait, so this is Poland Spring.
That is Poland Spring.
I still think I would have thought this is Voss because it's so different.
Okay.
But you have I mean, it's true, you know.
But you did think it was Poland Spring from first taste before you looked at the numbers.
I'm still surprised, though. But I accept what you're saying. I'm just like, I can't believe that this is Poland Spring. It's so different. Something about the geology of Poland Spring. That spring is just so different. Because now these two waters, this is interesting. These two waters. Sorry, I don't like it when I put tea down after I picked it up already. These two waters. This is reading as this is Poland Spring.
Yes.
21 TDS. This is 18. They're so close in like the theoretical amount of minerals in the water. The only thing that's different are the ratios. It's a huge difference. Have you tasted it, Steven?
Mm-hmm.
Huge difference. Floral, mineral, more like the snow water. Then this one is more like this one, but not as good. So something about the geology of Poland Spring. Guessing from what we know, these two areas have more similar geology, like more similar rocks, minerals, environment, the way that the water exists together versus Poland Spring. Just my guess, just my guess. So, because this is just so different. So the ratio of minerals here, something like maybe there's more like calcium, more something in this water, you know? So, but hey, I got like identified the Minami Alps water because it made me smile. And it's very good. So, we like Poland Spring. Poland Spring is interesting. Going back to whatever we're developing, Poland Spring has a very interesting flavor. It's more floral. I would like to try it with like more shincha to see if I actually want to lean in this direction. But I want to ask the question for you guys who like Japanese green teas. What do you want to taste from your Japanese green teas? We asked this question yesterday, but I want to ask again today. What makes it what do you want, right? More like floral, mineral, kind of like elegant, right? Or do you want to be more like round, umami, sweet, mellow, which is more like the Minami Alps water. So, which one do you prefer? Because then we'll make a decision as to which direction to go in. I still think the Minami Alps water is amazing. It's just when you're not sure about what tasting notes to use or what decision to make, it's that like harmonious feeling of goodness that then it comes out in you. That's why I giggle when I had this water twice now, right? It's just so good. It just makes sense. You know? Beautiful, right? It's got that yun, right? Yun is like harmonious, kind of like the thing is just so well balanced and good. That's the same yun as like ho yun, like the throat harmony when like the aftertaste of a tea is just like reverberating on the palate. It's the same kind of concept. So this tea just has that yun. Same thing with ui yansha, yan yun, right? That term, rock harmony. I don't know. I don't understand this concept so well because I'm not a native like Mandarin speaker, nor have I spent so much time like really digging into it. But from what I understand of this concept of yun, it's just the tea being so like the combination of what's in the tea, how it tastes, how it feels, being so wonderfully in balance and in harmony that it just makes sense. Something that has that is just gonna be good. Just like food. Think about food. You know when you have food that's just so perfect, but not perfect in like a mathematical way. It's just so it makes you feel like you're home. That's that kind of thing that you want to get from a tea and a water pairing, I think. Like this tea feels like it's home. Like Forever Spring yesterday was at home in original. This tea is at home in the Minami Alps, in my opinion. This is more like it's a little more thinky, right? Like it's like, oh, it's fascinating. I like this taste. But this just makes more sense. For me, at least. And then we have to factor in everyone's ideas of what's gonna come up, you know? So yeah. So notes on what we want from Japanese shincha. Umami, but in an elegant way from Caitlin. Not sure, honestly. Tea potato, unfortunate answer. It depends on the shincha. Very good answer, though. Unfortunate, but very good. It depends. Which we will test this tea, this water out with different shincha. We have some coming in. We have a lot more shincha coming in. Joni, rounded, mellow, and umami. Yeah, this is it. This will do it for you. So, yeah. Cool. Some interesting data. Any other thoughts? Okay. I'm just thinking, letting myself think for a moment. Pretty much. Yeah. I'm thinking about my takeaway to like share with you before we go. Yeah, so I'm learning from you guys on chat that something like round umami with some a little bit of elegance, right, is gonna be good for shincha or sencha in general, just Japanese green tea. Um, and consistently, not 2 days in a row now, well, yeah, 2 days in a row now, the Minami Alps water has been a really good water, the alpine water from Japan. So, yeah, we're starting to like go through a thread now. So from here, let me read the notes by the way before I lose it. Tea Potato saying, "Oh yeah, I asked you about your Benifuki. Was it Benifuki that you were testing? Oh no, Benihomare, right? So Autumn smoothed out the Benihomare like Benifuki, but it's pretty short-lived. The glacier water is way more smoothed out. Too much in my opinion, but has a longer finish. Interesting. Yeah. It's good to hear. I'm glad that you're testing the water with us. I really like that. And then an answer about what you want in a sencha. A vague answer, something that stretches the finish of the shincha. This one, for sure. So, it's good. I like it a lot. Okay, so we learned some things today. We drank a lot of tea. We're very caffeinated, but I'm actually quite comfortable. It's not. That's a good tea. If you can drink a lot of it without wanting to throw up.
If you can drink any of it without wanting to throw up.
Yes, because I remember the one time I almost thought I was gonna die from drinking tea was when I was tasting shincha from for an incoming season when we were doing wholesale.
Interesting.
Yeah, I almost wanted to throw up. I was like shivering under a blanket for like 3
I've
hours.
had that experience with a number of teas.
I mean, yes, but that was the worst. Like, I think it was like 16 different shincha or something like that. Yeah, and then I bowl brewed them, competition grade, competition style brewing. But this tea is very, very comfortable, even after so much tea. And I have not eaten today much. No, we did. We did have lunch with your parents. That's right. But not much. We didn't eat right before.
That was a long time ago, too.
So that was a long time ago. So, good tea. So our takeaways are, we like the Minami Alps water. Whatever is in that water is good. It's even better than snow water. It's even better than Voss. It's even better than Poland Spring. But Poland Spring offers an interesting counterpoint. So I think we need to figure out what Poland Spring competition is, because I don't want to buy more Poland Spring. But we will copy Poland Spring to test it against, because we're gonna engineer these waters, right? We're gonna use mineral salts to like make them at home using the Tea Curious kind of like system, right? The two bottles. We'll put the same minerals in and we'll like roughly approximate them. So we'll probably make a Poland Spring, right? Approximation. And then we'll probably make a Minami Alps approximation, I would say. That, or if we can get, I think the rest of our shincha arrives on Monday, we also should do the same test with another shincha. So I would guess this actually comes first, doing another test with a different batch of shincha or the Darjeeling. But I want to focus first on the Japanese green teas. So the Darjeeling will come later. It's almost like incidental. I want to see what happens if you brew Darjeeling using this water. So that will have to happen. Shincha, another one, a different one, because we have a bunch. We'll find one that's not as similar to this one. Do the same test with these waters that we like, and then we'll engineer those waters, like recreate those waters. So makes sense? Yeah? Questions? Anything else? Any thoughts? Reminders for me to like test? Yeah, I'm gonna write a blog post about this so that in the future, when me and Steven from 15 years from now look back on these fun moments with you guys, we'll know what we did. And also, we just want people to know how this is made. I think this one of the biggest issues for us is when people are like, oh, I don't want to put chemicals in my water. Which I think is a very valid, like, response, right? Like, I don't like adding stuff to my stuff either that is not natural or, like, not intuitive, right? But it is kind of scary, the idea of, like, oh, I don't want to add something extra to my water. But to just show that, yeah, this is what we're doing. We are getting inspiration from what is natural in nature, made by nature, and then hopefully recreating it using stuff from nature, because the salts that we use are basically, like, water and mountains that are like dehydrated. They like evaporate the water from them, and then what's left behind is the same minerals that are in the waters that we get from the wild. So this is literally what the process is. So it's been really fun to be able to share this with you guys. Any questions before we go? Let us know. Tyler is having some tea too, off topic, but I'm having some Alishan with the original formula, and it's so good. there's one tea that's gonna be good with the original formula, it should be Alishan because we wrung that tea so hard with the original formula. I'm glad you like it. Yeah. So any questions about this formula, let us know. This is gonna be available a week from today. Otherwise, come make fun of me. I'm just kidding. Don't make fun of me. Laugh with me because no, it's gonna be done. I feel our progress is very good, right, Steven? Again, guesses for this tea's name. DM me if you get the answer right. We'll send you a free copy of it. One of the first bottles that we'll make. And it's gonna be in time for all the wonderful shincha that we're drinking this season. So, I think tomorrow I'm going to try to do this a little bit different time. Is that okay with you guys? Those people who are here today, would like a little earlier be all right? Like maybe like 10 or 11 Pacific, or 1 or 2 Pacific. You want to pick? If someone says something, I'm just gonna go with it. Just so that some of like the Europe folks can join us, and like the late night Asia folks can join us too.
It's all gonna go on YouTube as well.
And it's also all gonna go on YouTube, so we can just keep it forever. So yeah, I'm excited. This was so lovely. This tea is treating us very well. You guys are treating us very well too. Thank you for like going through the process with us. It helps a lot to get to know these teas together with you and have someone kind of like looking over what we're doing, checking our work. We will probably do a little bit of work outside of this. What do we have to do? We have to taste the other shincha when they come in. Yeah, well, we'll tell you everything that happens, basically. Yeah, no questions? We're good? 11 Pacific or 2 p.m. Pacific? 1 p.m. Pacific? I'm not sure. Does it matter? Yeah, anyway, we'll figure it out. Probably like
1 p.m. maybe.
1 p.m. Pacific. Yeah, we'll probably do that. Okay, thank you so much for joining us today. Yeah, any questions, DMs, let me know. It's been really fun, you guys. We're off to go have a bit of a Saturday. No, we got some work to do, and then Saturday. Yeah, so thank you so much. We appreciate you guys. It's so fun. And yeah, I'm just chilling with this tea now.
It's a good tea.
So it's a good tea. It's a
Yeah.
good tea. Okay. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. 6 days left, technically. Oh my gosh. The 6 days left before we do this. Tyler, last question. Shincha Rex before you go. I'm not sure, this is my first one. So this is pretty good. I honestly think that it's very straightforward. It doesn't do anything crazy, which is what we wanted for a test.
It feels good.
It feels very, very good. So if you want like a nice, solid, balanced shincha that arrives within 3 business days to you, because it's in the US, Den's tea. Which I know their tea is just very solid. Unomi has an amazing shincha selection right now. We're getting some from Unomi. We love like that, like I'm blanking out. The Yakushima Island stuff is amazing from them, just so good. We have like a marishi that Ian from Unomi had this amazing note about it. It's like feathery, he says. So we got some of that. That's gonna be a specialty that we drink at the very end. Tea Crane for like low intervention sencha is amazing. Thé de Japon is amazing too. Thé de Japon, I had a shincha from them one year that tasted like cantaloupe or honeydew. I was so impressed. So good. So them too. It's their Kagoshima Asatsuyu. So good. It makes me just so delicious. So yeah. Any other questions? Let me know. And let me know if any Rex too, because I'm still looking for a good Uji one. I haven't ordered any Uji. It's just a little early from Unomi, so they don't have a lot of Uji left. So if you have any recommendations for me, let me know. Yeah, Hachi Manju, so amazing. I love their stuff so much. Let's see. Naturality is an amazing Shizuoka one. Just very clean, clear, like a little bit mineral shincha. This is not sencha, but I'm waiting for Kajihara-san's teas. I think he's from, I forgot which area he's from, but we tried his tea last year during the Global Japanese Tea Marathon. That was the best tea in that lineup, kind of by far. I was really, really impressed by it. So Steven is doing this thing now where he's scrolling through Unomi's website, looking at stuff. Kurihara is Ian from Unomi's favorite Gyokuro. It's honestly not my favorite Gyokuro. But if you really like Umami Bomb Gyokuro, it's really, really amazing. It's not I don't like it. It's just I like Gyokuro with a little bit more like kind of like cut to it. So if you like really brothy Gyokuro, the Kurihara Gyokuro is just so rich and luscious. I like it, but I'll only drink it like once every 2 years, to be honest. Um, yeah. Anything else? Uh, Tarui's, yep. Okay. Cool, cool, cool. We'll see you guys tomorrow then, probably 1 p.m. Pacific. Okay. Awesome. Have a wonderful Saturday. Thank you so much for joining us. See you for the next couple days too. Goodbye.